Hi guys, my name is Majura and I'm the guitar player of Evanescence. I started to play the guitar at the age of 6, I believe, 6-ish, 8, and I had the first few concerts with the band of my dad because he's a musician as well at the age of 11, and pretty much after I graduated high school I knew that I'm going to be a musician, and there was never ever this I want to become a pilot or something else. Never ever. I always wanted to do music, so that's what I do right now. And I got the gig with Evanescence due to my friend Alex Skolnick of the band Testament and Metal Allegiance, because we shared stages at the Out and Loud Festival and Metal Fest during one year, and we sat together and talked, and a few weeks later I received this email, this very mysterious email from him, and he was telling Jen, some friends of mine are going to write an email to you, they're going to offer you something. It was very mysterious, and I was like, yeah, and so Alex recommended my name to Evanescence. That's how I got the gig. I think the funniest moment during the last tour we did now, because we just finished a 1-month tour in the US. For me personally, the funniest thing ever was we played Kingfest in Orlando, and there is this very famous song by Immortal, and we played, well, Amy started the song on piano, and there's this one spot in the song where the entire band comes in, starting with a big drum fill, and then everybody comes in and it's like big, and everybody was big except Will wasn't there because he was talking to the guys of Hell Yeah, and he came on stage too late, but there was full light on his drum kit and he just missed to join the band in time. I think that was my funniest moment I had on this tour, because we started playing and everybody's like, Will? You should never say never concerning a new Evanescence album. So far we are really focusing on 2017, which will be starting with a South America tour, which I am personally very looking forward to because I've never been to South America. I can't wait to come to Brazil and Argentina and see the people and the fans, because it's going to be great. Then during summer we'll have a big major European tour coming up. There will be some more dates. We already announced Greece, Finland, Belgium, Netherlands. We're going to hit some festivals, which is pretty exciting too. And then there is something else coming up, but I can't really reveal too much about it, and it's going to be something pretty special, I believe. When it comes to songwriting, I think we did pretty good with the new tune called Take Cover. We played it during this last tour, which was awesome. The fans loved it, and I loved seeing some fans singing along already after we played it, I don't know, 2 or 3 times, and they started singing the lyrics, and it was really nice. I think there is new music coming up, but the plans so far are mainly about the upcoming tours, so that's the major focus these days. So, I did a solo record with my music. I wrote the music, I had awesome guest musicians for this album, and I released it ages ago. So I recently played a show with my solo band, Does of Hell, and I was kind of advertising it, yeah, buy my new solo. Wait a minute, it's not new anymore, and probably all of you have it already. So I said, hands up for everybody who has my album already. And the entire venue, everybody was like, so I said, shit, I gotta do a new record. So it's going to happen, yes, 2017. In between all this touring and being busy with Evanescence, I will record my second solo album. The songs are already in progress. They're going to be a little bit different from my first record because I feel like I want to explore more of my personal insanity, and I'm looking forward to record. I have 2 drummers for this record. I won't be mentioning too many guest musicians, but there are some pretty rad guest musicians coming out for this. Of course, I'll do the songwriting and producing, as well as all the singing and the backing vocals. I'm thinking about doing a duet together with a male singer, so that is one of my plans that I have, but everything is still in progress, so we'll record in summer, so I hope for a release during winter 2017. Well, I have 2 solo bands, to be honest. I have my German guys and a fabulous band in America playing my solo tunes. So after each Evanescence run, I try to make it happen to play 1 or 2 shows in New York or, you know, overseas. With my German Does of Hell guys playing my solo stuff, we also mix it up with a lot of crazy music by my friends of the Winery Dogs and Free Kitchen, and I don't know, we even played the Attitude song of Steve Vai. I'll never forget the audience after this one, because the audience was that was a little bit too much maybe, but I haven't really thought about touring with my solo stuff, because 2017 is going to be a busy year, and I believe I'll be very happy to spend some days at home as well. I haven't really thought about touring. Of course, we're going to do solo shows, but if it's going to be like a big tour, I don't know. Single shows, yes. Yeah, but we just changed our venue for the Argentina show from, I believe, 6,000 to an indoor stadium like 12,000-ish. I'm really lucky to see myself in this position, and I really take nothing for granted, so this is something very special that I'm allowed to experience. But it's, of course, it's like a major big deal coming at you, knowing that you're going to be on the road for so many weeks during the next year, and of course I really look forward to it. And touring with Evanescence is not compared to touring with all the other bands I played in before. It's just the best of the best, because the guys are like, and the girl, they're like family to me, and I love them. And it's more like, we said this before, it's more like a big holiday. You're traveling with your friends, and you have the great opportunity to play those incredible, awesome shows, having fun and playing really beautiful, great, cool music. And all this consumption of everything is just, I'm just a lucky little girl. I was lucky enough to meet up with Jeff Waters twice this year, the guitar player of the incredible band Annihilator, or how he likes to call it, Anal Eater. Sorry. Yeah, and we really had a cool connection and talked a lot, and he's such an awesome dude. So I kind of invited him and was like, hey, are you kind of maybe interested in joining the guitar camp at Frankfurt Music Fair, which is coming up in the beginning of April. I don't know if it's public, is it? Do I spoil anything? Nah, it's public. So he's going to be there 4th until the 8th of April. I'm going to play at the Frankfurt Music Fair, and Jeff Waters is going to be there. And I invited, well, not invited, but and I made it happen that Will Hunt from Evanescence is going to be there too. So I'll have a little piece of my American family in Frankfurt during the music fair, and I'm looking forward to that. My favorite breakfast in Asia would be jok, which is rice soup with some peppers and herbs and everything. My favorite breakfast in the US is definitely pancakes with blueberries and syrup, and my favorite breakfast in Europe would be scrambled eggs with bacon. A lot of bacon. Life and the world is better with bacon. I'm not a funny person. I never laugh. I'm a very serious person. I never tell jokes. I have a lot of guitars. So I only have two hands, but we use a lot of different tunings with Evanescence, so I need to have a lot of guitars. And I appreciate that Evanescence made me play guitars like a 7-string, which is totally not a 6-string guitar plus an additional string. For me, 7-string guitars are different instruments. They sound different, they feel different, the whole attitude is different. So I have one 7-string guitar, which is awesome, I love it. I have some baritone guitars, and those are different too, because I never played a baritone guitar. I'm a very old school girl, like 6 strings from E to E. So B to B is like, what? And I started to play on those guitars, and each guitar, whether 7-string or baritone, they have this mighty big sound that you can't really produce with a 6-string guitar, and it's cool for the stuff and for the sound of Evanescence or heavy stuff, and it's defined, for my taste, it's defined by Korn. Korn are the 7-string band for my taste. I also play a lot of 6-string guitars. My favorite 6-string guitar is my Blue Jam that I bought, when? I got it during Frankfurt Music Fair, and I immediately fell in love with it. It's just awesome. So it's really hard to tell which of my Ibanez guitars is my favorite one, because each guitar has its own special sound and way of being used for a specific kind of music. I would never start playing death metal on my Jam, or I would never start playing jazz on a baritone guitar. So, well, but maybe never say never, who knows. I like trying out new things, but usually I can't really tell what's my favorite guitar except the Blue Jam that I have, because I just love that guitar. It has fabulous pickups, the sound is just awesome, and the neck is just, it's hilariously great for my taste to play, and the sound is very diverse, so I really appreciate everything that guitar has to offer. Und die Ibanez hier und die Ibanez da und die Ibanez und jetzt habe ich einmal. Und die Ibanez hier und die Ibanez da und die Ibanez und jetzt habe ich einmal. I listen to a lot of different diverse guitar players because I don't like to limit myself. So I listen to jazz as well as to metal, as well as to different kinds of music, even classical guitar players. But I think my major guitar heroes, of course, Mr. Steve Vai. I was lucky enough to meet him this year, which was awesome. The most influential guitar player for my playing these days is Matthias Eklund from the Swedish band Free Kitchen. We're friends, and I just think he has a very beautiful way of writing and performing music. And my all-time favorite, who was and still is one of the first guitar players I ever paid attention to as a tiny little child, it's Nuno Bettencourt of the band Extreme. He's the one and only man in my life, so Nuno Bettencourt, for the case you see this, I say it again, as I do in every interview, if you see this, I love you from the bottom of my heart, I want to marry you, give me a call. I recently saw an interview by Elisa Whiteglass, and she probably got the same question. I have never been a male too, so I don't know how it is to wake up as a male. I've always been a girl, and for me personally, I don't really make a difference in between male or female, because we all try to do a good, passionate job in music and art and what we create and do, and performing. But it's getting better. I see more and more girls, especially on guitar, coming out rocking, and it's no longer this pointing out, oh my god, is she able to play? Because these are great musicians like Nita Strauss and Gretchen Mann, and there are so many cool girls coming up and appearing on the surface. And I don't think that any of those girls really make an issue out of being a female. It's society that makes it a big issue. But we just do music and do what we love and try to be passionate about our music.